and we've been joined by Cincinnati coach Tommy Tuberville. The Bearcats are 9-2 overall, 6-1 in the American Athletic Conference. Cincinnati was in action this past Saturday at Houston. Cincinnati won the game 24-17. Bearcats with an open date this week. The next game will be December 5th against Louisville. And as we mentioned earlier, quarterback Brendan Kay is the American Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Coach, thanks for joining us on the call. If you could take a minute to tie up the win at Houston, maybe a word or two about Brendan's performance, and then tell us what you look for in the open date as you get ready for the regular season finale against Louisville, please.
Thank you very much. It's a good weekend for us. We didn't play our best game, but played against a very good team in Houston, and for both teams the elements weren't perfect for a college football game, but I thought both teams played pretty good. But Brandon, our quarterback, being a sixth-year senior, I thought was the edge for us against their freshman. Their freshman's going to be a good football player. Just a tough day for him, but we're excited about being 9 wins, and we're excited also about having an open date. It's been almost 2 months since we've had an open date, and we're mentally and physically tired. So we've got our big game of the year coming up, our rival team that we don't play anymore after this year. It'll be my first time to coach against Louisville. The Keg and Nails game is always a big game up in this area. We're fortunate to have it at home, but Louisville's playing awfully well. Charlie Strong's done an outstanding job there, and we're excited about having the opportunity. I wish both of us were undefeated in conference, but hadn't worked out that way. We've still got an outside chance, depending on what happens to UCF and the rest of their schedule. But right now we're just going to focus on academics for a few days, have a few practices, enjoy Thanksgiving, and then go back to work this weekend, get ready for the game.
Okay, questions for Coach Tommy Tuberville, please. Star 1 on your telephone to join the queue, and then the operator will introduce you.
We'll go to Tom Groshen with the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Hello, Coach. How are you?
Good morning.
We have 2 quarterbacks coming in that are both very accurate, I think second and third in the country in completion percentage. Beyond that, those guys will obviously be key to the game for both teams. What do you see as the keys to the game overall?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great matchup. Bridgewater being a junior and Brendan being a senior, I think that both of them went at each other last year. Of course, I think Munchie played most of that game, and so it'll be the first time for Brandon. But quarterbacks are always the key in big games. Depends on how they play, how they handle pressure. Everybody's a factor, but especially a game like that where both teams' quarterbacks are playing very well, got experience. So usually the coaches put it on the back of their shoulders, in which we will do that with our quarterback. We expect him, and hopefully has a good game of managing the game, whether he's calling running plays or checking the passing plays. I think it's important that obviously the team that wins, the quarterback will probably play pretty well.
In terms of the atmosphere, too, a sellout crowd expected, ESPN, I guess, as you said, if you could just amplify a little bit on how it really doesn't get much bigger than this in your case, does it?
No, it really doesn't. That for the way that we finished up, and of course the way that Louisville's finished up, this game does mean something. Obviously, it's not something that just you play in and it's over with, and you know what's going to happen. Of course, Central Florida has 2 games left, 1 game after we play that game. So there's still a chance up in the air for both teams to possibly have a chance to win the conference. We can't control our destiny. The only thing that Louisville and Cincinnati can do is control what happens in this one game, and so that's pretty much how we'll play it. We don't put a lot of pressure on our players. Hadn't even talked about it all year long. So hopefully we just go out and play our best game. That's the number one thing that you want to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to James Crepia with the Montgomery Advisor.
Coach, a bit off topic here for you, but working on some stories about the Iron Bowl, and Auburn has had obviously a tremendous turnaround again, and you know something about that yourself from your time at Auburn. What do you attribute most to your success when you took over a 3-8 team, and 2 years later you're winning the SEC West?
Well, obviously obviously in this situation, Gus Malzahn, he's come in and revamped everything that's there. And I'm excited about having a chance to watch that game. That's going to be it's a great game in college football, and that game needed to come back to the forefront to make college football even that much more exciting, because a lot of people tune into that game every year. I had the opportunity to coach in that game 10 years and 10 times, and it's a special game, especially for the fans, but it's really special for the players, and the coaches really get involved. You feel the pressure. I was always anxious to get that game over with, because you just feel the pressure of the entire Auburn family of, hey, you got to win this game for us, Coach. We need bragging rights. And I know Gus will feel that, as Nick Saban does. It's making a difference what the records are, but this year is extra significance. It means so much to the landscape of college football, of who wins this game in terms of BCS and championships. And I'm excited for all of them. My son is a quarterback there, and he's excited being part of it. He was part of it for 10 years as a coach's son, stood on the sidelines and watched it unravel. And I'm anxious for him to go through it as a player. He won't obviously play, but just being on the team and watching it, I'm excited for him.
And since you have a bye this week, and obviously you mentioned Tucker being on the team, by chance, are you planning to attend the game?
I will be at the Iron Bowl, the first time that I'll be back for an Auburn game since I left, 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm excited. I'm coming back as a father. It's Thanksgiving weekend. I hadn't seen my son all year, and about 7 or 8 weeks, and my wife, of course, having the weekend. We don't have it off, actually. We're taking a few days off for our big game next week against Louisville on the week that Thursday after Thanksgiving. But I'm giving our players off this weekend, and we'll go back to work. But I'm excited about coming back to Auburn and seeing a lot of friends and staying everybody's way and watching a great football game.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Yes, sir.
And do we have any other questions for Coach Tuberville, please? And Coach, thanks for your time this week. We look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Thank you.
All right. And that is, again, Cincinnati with an open date. Next game will be December 5th against Louisville.